Hey guys, hope you all are doing great and had a wonderful day. We got a new pistol in the game today, so I will try and upload a gunsmith discussion for it tomorrow. In the meantime, I wanted to discuss on the HVK assault rifle, and apparently it's the most broken gun in the COD Mobile history. My thoughts differ from the consensus, and I'm quite fine with the HVK as it stands. The main complaint seems to be with the 4-shot range, which 4 shots at all ranges we'd play as long as we get upper body shots and as long as we are not trying to cross map larger maps like high rise. But that's basically it. Even with the enormous range, getting kills consistently at range is still not guaranteed because we have horizontal recoil in action, which is hard to control, and also the bullet spread accuracy system, which will make us inaccurate at range. And at range, the character models are also smaller, which doesn't favor us. Thus, while statistically the range is huge and may need a nerf, practically we can seldom take advantage of it. One more thing to note is tracking and being precise at range is difficult, and oftentimes when our first shot hits the enemy can prone instantly and slide away. Thus, we couldn't take advantage of the 4-shot range. We can tap fire, but tap firing is again slower than the full auto firing and gives enough time for the enemy to react and get out of harm's way. Also, snipers in general tend to play from back, and by the time we get a kill with the HVK at range, the sniper would have killed us with a quick scope. Also, considering the sideways recoil pattern, fighting head glitch can also be troublesome since we only see the upper portion of the enemy and the recoil messes our aim as well. So I am not saying the HVK is not insane. It is really good and one of my recommended and top guns to use for this season, but at the same time it is alright due to the practical implementation of it. However, when we think of ranged weapons, we think of the Man of War, and compared to the Man of War, the HVK is definitely better. So either the Man of War needs a buff or the HVK needs a nerf for balancing things out. I will discuss the balance changes in a bit, but another concern is the HVK can 3-shot kill up to 16 meters if we can get one headshot. And the 3-shot kill has a time to kill of 169 milliseconds, which is crazy fast, and on par with the Fennec Akimbo. By the way, please nerf the Akimbo Fennec. It needs a nerf more than the HVK. Thus, I will be touching on this topic as well regarding how to balance out the HVK according to me. Nonetheless, even with how good the HVK is on paper, I have no problem with it in multiplayer due to the other guns available to use. But one place where I find the HVK OP is definitely the Battle Royale section. When testing out the HVK for my gunsmith discussion video, I did say that 25 bullets run out quickly, why I don't prefer using it. After giving it some more thought and pondering about it with my friend who is a pro player and uses the HVK exclusively for BR, I come to the conclusion HVK truly is broken for BR. The 4-shot 60-meter range is good because most of our engagements happen at range, where the HVK can still maintain a 4-shot kill, while the other guns fall to a 6 or 7 shots to kill. And this is considering they have 100 health without a vest. Taking level 3 vest and 150 HP, the HVK still has a faster time to kill on average compared to the other rifles commonly used in BR like the AK-47. Thus, the guy with the HVK has advantage in BR over the other players using some other gun. The only concern is that we have to get the HVK from an airdrop, and to make the most out of it, we need extended mag modification, and I would recommend minimum having the blue color extended mag. We have enough bullets to knock and kill enemies even at range as long as we can control the recoil. And regarding the recoil, the main concern is the horizontal recoil, so we can apply the muzzle brake or the strike stock and use other attachments for improving the accuracy at range. Otherwise, tap firing exists where we can have no recoil and tap fire the HVK like a DMR. Thus, we have a deadly weapon in our hands, why I consider the HVK to be OP for BR. But the same argument applies. We can't take advantage of the range due to the recoil and the bullet spread accuracy. Till 30 meters the recoil is fine, but beyond 30 meters the recoil becomes unstable. We can use it and get some fast kills beyond the 30-meter range, but those are really inconsistent. In multiplayer, we have a different story. We have to focus on mobility since things happen fast and we need to react quick and use attachments accordingly. So if we make a deadly range build, we suffer close range and still have the chance to get quick scoped by snipers. And if we make a mobility build, then there is a chance we might not perform well at range. And enemies can evade our bullets like Neo in Matrix. For closer ranges, guns like Fennec will out outgun the HVK on average. Thus, why even though statistically the stats on the HVK are truly great, practically we seldom can abuse it to our advantage, and while trying to reap benefits, we may dig a hole underneath ourselves, which can bite us down the line. On a similar note, I want to discuss the reaction speed times on average and why even if we have good or even world-class reactions, in online games with ping and latency issues, we can't take advantage of it. The median reaction speed is around 215 milliseconds according to a human benchmark, which takes reaction speed tests and have loads of data on it. Thus, if two people, say A and B, have reaction speed of 180 milliseconds and 220 milliseconds respectively, you can say A will win usually because he can react fast. And I agree, on paper it seems to be the case, but in online games we have another factor called the latency or the ping. If A has a ping of 60 milliseconds while B has a ping of 10 milliseconds, we have a difference of 50 milliseconds here. Thus A, even with his faster reactions, is losing against B. And similar thing happens in our game as well, practically speaking. Thus oftentimes we discuss stats and say this has 1 frame faster ADS speed, why this is better. And statistically it is true, but practically the scene can be much different, which is why minute differences like 1 frame ADS speed is often inconsequential. And there are other variables also like desync and hit registration, which come into play practically. But this is a very rudimentary example of why I believe we should take stats and the practical application both into consideration to get clarity into the overall scenario. And before anyone misjudges my opinion as hate comment or jealousy or anything of that sort, I have no such intentions. I simply wanted to share what I thought, since differences of opinion help us get a clearer overall picture, lest we get stuck in an echo chamber repeating the same thing over and over and over again and gratifying ourselves. Thus, change of scenery, differences of opinion, and seeing the world a bit differently helps us out gain clarity into the big picture and see the overall scenario more clearly. Coming to HVK and how to balance things out. When I first used the HVK, I felt it to be DRH but more forgiving, since HVK has faster fire rate but slightly slow time to kill in comparison. The 60 meter range can't be taken advantage of due to the lateral recoil and the bullet spread at range, and I would say 25 meters to 30 meters is the max effective range for this gun. The headshot capability is also dubious and has been mentioned by Sonia Kataria in my HVK Gunsmith discussion. In a nutshell, because of the sideways recoil of the HVK, if we aim directly at head, we sometimes might land a headshot and we sometimes may not. Thus, it is really inconsistent, and our main concern should be to aim upper body to get the 4-shot kill and not aim directly at the head. The other issue is with the attachments we get. There isn't a no stock option, and the base ADS speed is 2 frames faster than the other assault rifles like the LK24 or the AK-47. Thus, not having a no stock doesn't hurt us either. With my recommended build, we have 13 frames ADS speed, since we get 4 frames faster ADS speed using the barrel and the laser, and the large caliber ammo slows it down by 1 frame. Now 13 frames is really good, and Fennec has a base ADS speed of 12 frames for comparison. HVK with this build is on par and pretty similar to the anti-SMG AK-47 build I used in the max recoil video. But while the AK-47 has damage drop-off at 14 meters, the HVK doesn't have any damage drop-off. I would suggest making the base ADS speed slower to 18 frames or 19 frames. Man of War is a long-range weapon and it has an ADS speed of 20 frames, so suggesting 18 or 19 frames isn't far-fetched. And instead of the strike stock, which doesn't reduce the ADS speed, the option for steady stock should be given. So if you want to use the horizontal recoil attachment like the muzzle brake or the steady stock, we make the ADS speed slower by 1 frame. As of now, with the strike stock, we get the same horizontal recoil reduction as the muzzle brake, just without the ADS speed decrease, making the muzzle brake a pointless attachment. Now, ADS speed starts mattering in close range, and in 16 meter range the Fennec will outgun the HVK on average, and we don't need the Akimbo Fennec either for it. From 17 meter onwards, we have guns like the LK24 and the ICR, which can laser till 40 meter mark. Thus, while HVK may miss a couple bullets due to the horizontal recoil, the LK24 or the ICR will win the gunfight because of their laser-like sprays. Why I had mentioned the range on paper versus the practical effective range are two different things. And I personally like using the AK-47 with the 5.45 caliber ammo and Ranger barrel. where I have 253 milliseconds time to kill till 25 meters anywhere on the body, so we don't have to aim at the upper body explicitly to get the 4-shot kill. And the recoil is also much more controllable due to it being primarily vertical recoil. And I had recently made a max recoil AK-47 build which performed like no recoil AK-47, and you can check out the video. I will have the link in the description. There is a difference of ADS speed, however, as the AK-47 has a base ADS speed of 18 frames while the HVK has a base ADS speed of 16 frames. But due to the ping or latency issues, 1 frame ADS speed is usually inconsequential. Nonetheless, I agree that HVK is faster by 2 frames on paper and there needs to be done something about it. But even with the faster ADS speed, the AK-47 has other features which you might like. In my experience, the AK-47 is much more easier to handle and consistent since the recoil is more controllable and we can hit anywhere in the body to get the 4-shot kill till 25 meters. Which helps considering character models at range are smaller, so we can't accurately aim at the upper body at range. HVK needs higher skill due to the horizontal recoil and also aiming at the upper body to get the 4-shot kill. And the time to kill difference between these two guns is negligible, and the other stats are also quite similar / same. Why I emphasized even though the HVK has crazy range, we can't practically take advantage of it or abuse it. Why I am fine with the HVK as it stands for multiplayer. And for Battle Royale though, it's quite good. There are differences regarding the movement speed, and it is true and I have nothing to say about it. Differences exist. Nonetheless, that was a huge explanation and I am tired. Do consider leaving a like and subscribing with the bell notification on to show some appreciation and respect my hard work. And if you want, we have a Discord server which you can join where we talk about Gunsmith, and I'm also active there interacting with the community. The link to the Discord will be in the description. Anyway, for some balance changes, I really do like the HVK having such a unique damage profile because ARs usually have a damage drop off around the 30 meter mark and the HVK goes twice that. And I would personally say instead of nerfing and making the HVK fit in with the other ARs, they should keep it unique this way, but do some changes like the ADS speed and the steady circ thing I mentioned previously. And tweaking the headshot multiplier so we have 4-shot kill always. Since the 3-shot kill is way too fast, just even it out to 4-shot kill at all ranges, granted we get upper body shots. The recoil and the bullet spread is quite alright and we get an effective 25/30 meter range with it, which doesn't allow us to abuse the range, but I would still say increase the horizontal recoil by 3 to 5% where it isn't a huge difference to impact us severely, but it will deter us from trying to cross map or abuse the enormous range. And to make the most out of it, instead of full auto spraying, we see more applications of burst sprays where people would burst 5 to 7 bullets and then take a pause and then shoot again. This will be balanced in the sense the shooter, if they can land their shots, will get the kill, otherwise if the enemy can react then they have time to get to safety. And make the movement speed standard like the other assault rifles. The magazine capacity can also be reduced to around 20 if needed, but I think 25 is quite alright. Thus, this way the HVK can't be abused in close ranges and also can't be abused at longer ranges, and rather it has a niche range where it will dominate, like the Man of War has a niche. Overall, HVK is good, I don't deny it, and I also recommend HVK, and it is one of the top guns to use this season as well. But at the same time, I don't think it's way too overpowered to need a thunderclap nerf to the range. Rather, instead of touching upon the range, can tweak some other variables and get the gun to maintain its uniqueness while still being balanced. Take my opinions with a grain of salt, since at the end of the day it is just my opinion, formed after looking at the stats and my practical experience playing with the gun and also against with enemies using this gun. I'm not the arbiter regarding what is true or false here or what needs to be nerfed or buffed. I made this video to shed a different light on the HVK, an alternate perspective of sorts, since the consensus is HVK needs to be nerfed, and my thoughts weren't aligned with the norm. Hope you could find the video informative, and I would appreciate if you can share the video to your friends or in your social media so as to help get the video popular. And also consider leaving a like and subscribing with the bell notifications turned on. And I will see you very soon with a new Gunsmith discussion. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good day. Take care guys, and bye.